Are you ready? Welcome to Conflict Nexus Report, where we bring latest updates about global world crises and latest news. Hang tight for what we have for you today. Right now, as you're watching this, two men are sitting across from Vladimir Putin in Moscow. One is Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law. The other is billionaire real estate developer Steve Witkoff. Their mission: attempt to end the deadliest war in Europe since World War II. At the same time, Trump is threatening military action against Venezuela, while lawmakers accuse his administration of committing a potential war crime just months ago. Welcome to December 2025, where American foreign policy has never been more unconventional or more dangerous. This is Trump's most ambitious diplomatic gamble yet, and the next 48 hours could reshape global power. Today marks a pivotal moment in three unfolding crises: Kushner and Witkoff meeting Putin in Moscow, the White House defending a deadly and controversial military strike in the Caribbean, and Trump escalating threats of imminent ground operations against Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro. Here's what's happening and why it matters. In Moscow, Witkoff and Kushner are attempting to negotiate an end to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Neither is a traditional diplomat. Neither was approved by the Senate. But they're now at the center of the most important peace talks in decades. The Kremlin confirmed the meeting through spokesman Dmitry Peskov. This comes after secretive weekend negotiations in Florida involving U.S. officials and Ukraine's delegation. Trump says he sees a good chance of a deal, but Secretary of State Marco Rubio has warned the talks are delicate and complicated. A leaked 28-point peace plan, reportedly shaped with input from a sanctioned Russian businessman, was widely criticized for favoring Russia. It includes freezing the conflict along current lines and restricting Ukraine's NATO ambitions. Ukraine calls these proposals unacceptable. Putin, meanwhile, demands that Ukraine withdraw from more territory, a total non-starter for Kyiv. Experts warn there's little chance Putin will compromise while Russian forces continue advancing. Zelensky says Russia launched nearly 1,400 attack drones, over 1,000 guided bombs, and dozens of missiles just this week alone. Now to Venezuela. Trump held an emergency Oval Office meeting yesterday about next steps. Lawmakers are still outraged over a September strike in the Caribbean that killed more than 80 people. According to multiple sources, a U.S. commander allegedly ordered a second strike specifically to kill survivors in the water. Senator Angus King said plainly, "That's a stone-cold war crime." The White House defends the operation, but Trump himself denied knowing about the second strike. Congress says the administration is withholding information. At the same time, Trump designated Maduro and his allies as a foreign terrorist organization and warned that U.S. military operations will soon expand from sea to land. Venezuela's defense minister says the country is prepared for war. Maduro claims the U.S. wants to seize Venezuela's oil reserves. Trump confirmed he spoke with Maduro directly, but refused to reveal details. The situation gets even more confusing after Trump announced plans to pardon former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, convicted in a major U.S. drug trafficking case. Critics say this contradicts the administration's justification for the Caribbean strikes. What ties all of this together is Trump's unconventional approach: back-channel negotiations, personal allies acting as diplomats, public threats mixed with private deal-making, and a willingness to bypass traditional institutions. With Ukraine, a bad deal could fracture NATO and embolden Russia. With Venezuela, unauthorized military action could trigger a regional conflict involving China and Russia. And with war crime allegations mounting, the political risk inside the U.S. is rising fast. What happens next depends largely on the outcome of today's meeting in Moscow. If Putin rejects the proposal, Trump must choose between continuing support for Ukraine, pressuring Kyiv to accept unfavorable terms, or stepping back entirely. Meanwhile, Russian forces continue to advance, and the humanitarian toll grows. In Venezuela, Trump's warnings of land operations suggest escalation could come at any moment. Today represents a turning point. In Moscow, unconventional diplomats are negotiating the future of Europe. In Washington, the administration faces accusations of war crimes. And in Caracas, Venezuela prepares for possible U.S. military action. Trump promised to end endless wars with bold diplomacy, but this moment is a high-stakes gamble with global consequences. If it works, he'll claim vindication. If it fails, the fallout could reshape world politics for years. What do you think? Is this brilliant negotiation or dangerous amateurism? Should the U.S. be conducting military operations in Venezuela? And can any peace deal satisfy both Ukraine and Russia? Let your voice be heard. Thanks for watching. Stay informed. The next 48 hours could change everything. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and turn on the subscribe button to be notified whenever we drop latest news.